Welcome back to Miss Swanson's story time.
Yay!
Today, my guest is the lovely Kinley Swanson.
Yep.
And of course, Ellie. There she
Yeah.
is. And then our other pets that you didn't get to meet. I don't know if they have names. Do they have names, Kinley?
Yeah, that's my fish.
His
If you
name's
can
My
see
Fish.
No, his name is Tigerfish.
What's that yellow one's name?
I think it's Goldie. I think that's Charlie's fish.
Okay. Good enough. Okay.
No, that's Goldie and that's Cucumber.
We don't play with them very often.
We stick our fingers in it and then they bite it.
Yeah, they do bite. So if
Yeah.
you stick like little tiny, like little tadpole things, they'll go and attack them and eat them.
What tadpole thingies?
Like, what are those little fish minnow things that we put in there?
What?
Was it minnows?
I don't know.
Some kind of little minnow fish. If you put it in there, they go and eat it because they're meat-eating fish. What are they called? The fish. I don't know. I don't obviously know. I didn't do my homework on that. Okay, so we're going to do a little experiment on germs for you before we read. You might have seen this one online, but what we're going to do is
I know you can't drink the water. We're gonna put you down.
I have a bowl of water right there, and I'm going to put a bunch of germs in it,
Yep.
aka pepper. You can also do this with glitter, but Miss Swanson doesn't like glitter.
No, she doesn't. I used to have it all over my
Yeah,
room.
we're not allowed to have glitter in our house. Okay.
I still do anyways.
No, you don't. Yes, I do. So, Kinley, stick your finger in the water and see if you get any germs on your finger.
I did.
Can you see it?
Wait.
Where's the camera?
Oh, there he is.
Here, get some more germs.
Teeth. Ooh.
Yuck.
It
Okay.
looks like ants.
So germs are all over it. Okay, so let me wipe your germs off.
Okay. What?
Now, that hurt.
Ew, there's still germs on me.
Now, if we put soap on your finger, the soap should keep the germs away.
It didn't work. There it goes.
Now take it out. And see, there's no germs sticking to it. So that's why we wash our hands all the time, especially before we eat. Yuck. Okay.
Oh, and also the pepper all went to the side.
Yeah,
It's
the
like
pepper was repelled by the germs. It's pretty neat.
We should try with Germex.
I mean, by the soap.
We should try with Germex. Because
Yeah,
Germex.
that would be a good thing to try later for germs. Okay, you're gonna help me read, or you just want to listen like Ellie is?
I'll be your student.
Okay. So, the last thing we read, she used a bookmark. She had accidentally got her tooth knocked out by her grandpa Frank Miller, which really he didn't. And then she realized that she was so cute with her new smile. So,
That used to happen to, like, I used to have 2 front teeth missing.
yeah.
And I thought I was so cute, but I wasn't.
And she was scared of looking like toothless Uncle Lou because that's what somebody told her about his uncle that only had one bottom tooth. All right, so chapter 5 is called The Fairy.
We love
That
fairies.
night we had festivities. Ellie off the kitchen table.
Come on. Yes, dude.
Festivities is when my grandpa and grandma come over and all of us eat cake.
Yeah, I love cake.
We're about to eat cake on Wednesday for Kinley's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma Helen Miller made the cake herself. She put a big smiley face on the top. Only that is not all, because the smiley face had a tooth missing, just like me. I laughed and laughed at that silly thing. Then I reached in my pocket and I got my tooth and I passed it all around the table.
What if it, like, fell in the food?
Ew, fell in the cake. Oh, that's a beaut, Junie B, said Grandma Miller. You know what beaut stands for?
Beauty.
That's a beauty.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful tooth. I know it, Grandma. I know it is a beaut, I said real proud. I can't wait to take it to school for show and tell. The children are going to love this thing. Daddy looked strange at me. Oh, gee, I don't know, honey, he said. I'm not really sure you should take your tooth to school. Mother shook her head no. No, Jenny B, that's definitely not a good idea, she said. And besides, you won't even have your tooth on Monday, remember? You have to leave it for the tooth fairy tonight. Just then, my skin got chill bumps again, and the flutterflies came back in my stomach.
The butterflies or the
flutterflies? Because I know stuff about the fairy, that's why. My voice felt kind of shaky. Yeah, only what if I don't want to leave my tooth for the fairy, Mother? What if I want to take it to show and tell and that's all? Mother shook her head again. No, Jenny B, no show and tell, she said. Taking a tooth to show and tell is just, well, it's just disgusting, said Daddy. Yes, said Mother, disgusting. I whined at those two. No, it isn't, I said. Lots of kids bring teeth to school. Because one time, Roger brought a shark's tooth, and he even let me and her put it right in our mouths. And then we looked like sharks too. I thought some more. Plus, another time, Shirley brought her grandmother's dentures, and lots of us put those in our mouths too. Oh, that's disgusting. Grandma Miller did a little gag. Only I don't actually know why. My grandpa patted her hand. Just be glad she doesn't want to take the spit cup, he whispered. Just then, my whole face lighted up, because I have ears like a hawk, of course.
What's a spit?
The spit cup, the spit cup. I will take the spit cup, I hollered. I jumped down from the chair and I zoomed to the bathroom. Then I got the spit cup out of the trash and I dusted it off real good. Good news, people, I shouted real loud. There's still some blood around the edges.
What's a spit cup?
She spit in it after her tooth fell out, so it had blood, like pink water in it from blood.
Oh.
I quick ran back to show them. Grandma Miller closed her eyes at that sight. Then Mother put her head on the table and hid her face in her arms.
Always look in your table.
The festivities were over, I believe. After Grandma and Grandpa Miller left, Mother took me into the bathroom and we brushed my teeth real careful. Then I took my loose tooth out of my pocket. I guess it's not a loose tooth anymore. And I brushed that guy too.
Make it squeaky clean.
I held it up to the light. Look, I said, look how shiny I made it. I really wish I could take this tooth to school, Mother. I really, really wish with all my might. Mother gave me a hug. I know you do, Jenny B, she said, but it's still going to be fun to put it under your pillow tonight, isn't it? She smiled. I remember when I was a little girl, I couldn't wait to wake up in the morning and find out how much money the tooth fairy had left me. My skin got prickly at that name again. Also, sweaty came on my head. I thought and thought about what to do. Then finally, I stood up on my tiptoes and I whispered in my mother's ear. Yeah, only I know stuff about the fairy, Mother. I know the truth. Mother looked shocked at me. The truth, she said? You know the truth? Yes, I whispered again. Hey, what is she barking at? She's a little crazy.
Outside?
Oh.
Here. Let's go down.
Because last year, Polly Allen Puffer told me the whole entire story. I took another big breath. Then I cupped my hands around her ear and I talked even quieter.
The tooth fairy's a guy.
Is that the secret?
I don't know. Maybe. Is it really a tooth fairy or is it a tooth guy?
I got
the tooth guy. What if the guy gets the boys and then the tooth fairy gets the girls?
Oh, Finn's one. The fairy isn't real, I said.
Yes, it is.
The tooth fairies just pretend. Mother's eyes got big and wide at me. No, she said. Yes, I whispered back. Polly Allen learned it from his big brother. The tooth fairy isn't a fairy at all. She's actually a teensy little tooth witch.
That's why she steals your tooth.
Mother's mouth came all the way open. A tooth witch? Shh, I said. We have to talk soft, Mother. If the tooth witch hears anyone telling her secret, she flies into their room at night and she pinches their cheeks. Mother covered her face with her hands. She was in shock, I believe. Polly Allen's brother even saw the tooth witch. Because one night he put a tooth under his pillow and then he stayed awake all night and he saw the tooth witch fly into his room on a teensy little toothbrush. Kids always make stories up. Oh my, said Mother. I know, it is oh my, I said. And that is not even the worstest part.
What if it's a grandma? Because grandmas pinch your cheeks.
Yeah, it's a witch though. Because the witch walked right under his pillow and she carried out his tooth and then she chomped a big bite out of it just like it was a little tooth apple. Mother made a noise behind her hands. I patted her very nice. I know how you feel, I said. This is very hard to hear. Finally, Mother took her hands away. But it doesn't really make sense, Junie B., she said. I mean, why would a mean little witch leave money under the pillow? A witch would never do something that nice, would she? I rolled my eyes way up to the ceiling. Because sometimes I have to explain everything to that woman. Of course she would, Mother. Don't you get it? The witch leaves money so that children think she's a real fairy. Because if children don't think there's a fairy, they won't leave their teeth, right? That makes sense, I guess.
Well, yeah.
And if they don't leave their teeth, the witch won't get any tooth apples. Mother closed her eyes very tight. Then all of a sudden, she opened up the bathroom door and she ran right out of the room. She was taking it harder than I thought. Poor Mother. I don't know how she deals with Junie B.
What if there's a tooth fairy that comes after the witch?
You shouldn't have a tooth to get.
I know, but she'll still give you money because the witch stole her tooth.
She's not going to pay you for nothing. She's paying you for that tooth. All right, chapter 6, full of soup. That night, Daddy tucked me into bed. He said that Polly Allen Puffer's brother is full of soup. There's no such thing as a tooth witch, Junie B., he said. I promise you there isn't. Polly Allen Puffer's brother just made that up to scare Polly Allen. And then Polly Allen said it to scare you too. I shook my head. No, Daddy, no, it's not made up. I know it isn't, because the tooth witch makes sense. That's why, I said. She makes way more sense than a fairy. Daddy raised his eyebrows. Why, he asked. Why does a witch make more sense than a fairy? Because, I said, because the tooth witch likes to chomp the teeth. But the tooth fairy doesn't do anything with the teeth at all, right? And so why would she even pay money for them?
I heard she makes a castle out of tooth.
Daddy did a little frown. Well, I don't know exactly, he said. But I'm sure that she must do something with the teeth, Junie B. There are other things to do with teeth besides chomping them, you know. Like what? I asked. Daddy put his head in his hands. Then he thought and thought and thought. After he got done thinking, he went to get Mother. She came in my room carrying Fussy Ollie. She handed him to Daddy and she sat down on my bed. Daddy said you have another problem about the tooth fairy, she said. I nodded. Yes, I said, because if there's really a fairy, then she has to have a reason to want the teeth, right, Mother? She wouldn't just throw them in the garbage, because that don't make any sense. Plus, also, it would hurt my feelings. Mother hugged me. Mm-hmm. No, Junie B., of course she doesn't throw them in the garbage, she said. I'm sure the fairy does something very special with the teeth. Like what? I said. Mother ran her tired fingers through her hair. There's Junie B. and her dad and Ollie. And there's Mama losing it. And here's little baby Rosie.
She's getting her belly scratched.
She stood up and walked back and forth on my rug. Then all of a sudden, her face got brighter. I know. I bet the fairy uses the teeth to make jewelry, she said. At first, Daddy and I didn't say any words. We just stared and stared at that woman. Jewelry, I said finally. Mother smiled. Yes, of course, she said. She probably uses the teeth to make little tooth necklaces and bracelets and cute little toe rings. How does that sound? You want one of those?
I want an anklet. Not a tooth anklet.
People's
No.
teeth?
No.
I made a sick face. It sounds repulsive, said Daddy. Mother stopped smiling. She quick took Ollie back from Daddy and she hurried out of my room. After she left, Daddy finished tucking me in. I'm sorry about that, Junie B, he said. I'm afraid Ollie has your mother worn to a frazzle these days, but I'm sure she's not right about that jewelry thing. He did a little shiver. No, certainly she's not, he said. Then, before I could ask any more questions about the fairy, he kissed me goodnight and he rushed out of my room as fast as Mother. That night, I did not put my tooth under my pillow. Also, I did not put it under there the night after that or the night after that. The fairy still did not make sense. Should I read one more chapter, class? Class of 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last one. Chapter 7, a stumper. Like stumper. The next morning was school. I put my spit cup into my backpack and I took it to the bus stop. Because Mother said I couldn't take my tooth, but the spit cup was Grandpa's idea. I saved Herb a seat, then I bounced up and down real excited because I couldn't wait for him to see me, of course. Finally, we got to his bus stop. I waved to him from the window, then I leaned my face real close to the glass and I smiled my biggest smile. Herb's eyeballs popped out of his head. He ran on the bus, zippity quick. It came out, Herb, it came out, I said. My tooth came out on Friday, and it's been out ever since. I smiled for him again. See me, Herb? See how I look? I look fascinating, right? I don't look like Uncle Lou, hardly. Herb's eyeballs kept popping out at me. Whoa, he said. Wow. I laughed at that nice comment. I smiled and pointed. See my tooth hole, Herb, huh? I look cute, right? I don't even look like Uncle Lou, correct? Herb said, wow, again. After that, I quick got my backpack and I unzipped the zipper. Are you getting a bath?
Sure.
Yeah, only wait till you see this, Herbert, I said. I brought something special for you to see. After that, I pulled out the cup and I put it right on his lap. Ta-da! It's my spit cup, Herb. I use this cup to rinse my actual spit. Yuck.
Who keeps their spit in a cup and then brings it to school?
Junie B. Jones. That's probably all. I showed him the edges. See the pink color right there? That pink is from the bleeding. Herbert's face did not look delighted. Okay, thank you, he said. Please get it off of me now. Rosie, stop. I got it off. But I thought you would like this, I said, very disappointed. Herb patted me. Live and learn, he said. Pretty soon his face got normal again. So how much money did you get from the fairy, Junie B? Did you get a lot of cash? My stomach did a flip-flop with that question. Because I didn't want to discuss that matter, of course. I squirmed in my seat, kind of worried. Then I looked out the window and I didn't talk. Herb tapped on me. What's wrong, Junie B? He said. How come you're not answering me? The fairy did come, right? She didn't forget you, did she? I looked all around, then I scooted next to him very close and I quieted my voice to a whisper. Yeah, only I can't even discuss that matter, Herb, because I know stuff about that fairy. Stuff? What kind of stuff? He asked. I whispered even softer. Sorry, I said, but I have to keep it a secret. And so please don't ask me any more questions, and I mean it. After that, I pretended to lock my lips, and I threw away the key. I saw that on TV once. Herb looked annoyed at me. I unlocked my lips again. Don't be mad at me, I said. I can't help what I know, Herb. And anyway, all you have to do is think about it, because the fairy doesn't make sense. Herb scratched his head. What do you mean she doesn't make sense? Why doesn't she? I crossed my arms. Because what does the fairy do with your teeth, Herbert, huh? Did you ever ask yourself that problem? Why would a fairy pay money for teeth when she doesn't even use them? It sounds kind of fishy, don't you think? Herb just stared at me. Well, I said, do you know what the answer is, Herb? A fairy wouldn't just throw the teeth in the garbage, would she? Because that doesn't even add up. Only nobody knows what she does with them, apparently. Not even you, I bet. Herb wrinkled his eyebrows. I never thought about it, he said. He tapped on his chin. What does the fairy do with the teeth? That's a stumper, all right. After that, he slid way down in his seat, and he thought and thought some more. I thought some more, too. We rode to school real quiet. And that's the end of the chapter. What do you think the tooth fairy does with the teeth?
I think she makes a castle.
Maybe. I want you to write a 5-page paper on what the tooth fairy does with the teeth. I'm just kidding.
An essay.
You can if you want to, but don't. Anyways, you'll have to wait and find out because they might tell us the answer tomorrow. And I hope everybody has a good night. Bye-bye.